You have the latest tonight on the deadly shooting of King of the Hill actor Jonathan Joss.
Joss was shot and killed off Dorsey Street on the city's south side Sunday night. Joss was best known as the voice of John Redcorn in the long-running series King of the Hill. And right now, a memorial is growing near the site where Joss was killed. Fans have been placing candles and flowers there all day.
And tonight, we are also taking a closer look at police reports revealing a feud between Joss and the man charged with murder. Sigfredo Ceja Alvarez is set to be released from jail after posting a $200,000 bond. Alvarez will be under house arrest and subject to drug and alcohol testing. Also, we're told he can't have any guns. Alvarez's next court hearing is set for August the 19th.
Joss's husband says they were targeted because of their sexual orientation. San Antonio police say right now there's no evidence Joss's death was the result of a hate crime. Neighbors tell News 4 that Joss and Sigfredo Ceja Alvarez had been fighting for years over property rights. Joss's husband, Tristan Carne de Gonzalez, posted on social media that they were regularly harassed and that the harassment was homophobic. We asked former District Attorney Nico LaHood about what it would take for this case to be considered a hate crime.
It would have to be the reason why they did the crime, whether it's an aggravated assault, or a murder.
LaHood also says that if there's fear of serious bodily injury or death, that is in certain scenarios a justification to use deadly force.
We also obtained several police reports today detailing months of disputes between Jonathan Joss and his neighbors, some even reporting he was pointing a crossbow. The city was also closely watching the home that used to be on his property. The News 4i team's Jordan Elder details what we found.
Neighbors and Joss's husband have said that tensions were brewing for years. We're going to take you through the timeline so far of some of the 60-plus incidents that took place at their address. We're going to start in June of 2024. Police were called to Joss's address because Sigfredo Ceja Alvarez reported Joss was walking outside his house with a crossbow. Alvarez told police that this wasn't uncommon and he was afraid to let his wife and kids leave the house by themselves because of those patterns. Now, about a month later, the city's dangerous assessment response team came to the house. Their job is to look at properties that are a nuisance or dangerous, and police say in that report they previously confiscated Joss's guns, and in that case, they confiscated the crossbow as well. They said the house was not in good condition. In August, the city ordered that the property be vacated, and the owner agreed to have it demolished. That plan was approved in September. Then in October, the city disconnected gas and power to the home. We're going to fast forward to January now. The house catches fire. We still don't know the cause, but the damage was so bad that the city did an emergency demolition a week later. Now we're going to fast forward to this past Sunday. We're told Joss was back at the property to collect mail and ended up getting into an altercation with Alvarez. Alvarez allegedly shot him and has now been arrested. Neighbors are still filling in the blanks in this timeline, saying the threats were hurled back and forth for years. When we get more details about what happened in these gaps, we'll let you know. I'm Jordan Elder in the studio.
And you can read the police reports in their entirety at news4sa.com. We also have a closer look at the neighbors' alleged feud right now on our YouTube page.
So while police are not calling Joss's death a hate crime, his husband posted on Facebook that the suspect yelled homophobic slurs at them during the shooting. Let's go to News 4 San Antonio's Karina Hollingsworth now. She's speaking with members of the LGBTQ community who say this worries them.
June 1st, happy Pride, horrible. Horrible. It is unexcusable.
Jonathan Joss was murdered on the first day of Pride Month. He had claimed he had been targeted for being gay.
What happened to Mr. Joss, to tell you the truth, is something that is eye-opening for us because considering that San Antonio is very progressive compared to a lot of cities in the state of Texas, being that there is incidents that still happen like this makes us more aware that it could happen anywhere.
David Joseph Gomez is the co-owner of 360 Queen Entertainment, a drag production company here in San Antonio. Joss's murder makes him think twice about holding his partner's hand or showing affection in public.
Hesitation comes with safety. It's never embarrassment. It's never a place of being resentful for being gay. It's a time for safety for me.
Iridescent says Joss's murder has her feeling uneasy. She has not felt targeted in the city, but says that has not been the case in more rural areas.
I'm just getting called the F slur, and dirty looks I can deal with, but it's like being called queer in a derogatory way is not necessarily the most fun.
So far, San Antonio police say the killing does not meet the definition of a hate crime. The records show officers responded to Joss's home on the south side 66 times since September of 2023. 13 of those calls were for disturbances with a neighbor. Attorney Andrea Matos says hate crimes are difficult to prove because they require hard evidence the hate existed.
I absolutely think that they're on the rise in San Antonio, and I think it's disgraceful that that's the society that we live in right now. But I definitely start to see more and more, phrases that are being used, like I said, about racism and homophobia and anti-Semitic statements that are being made across San Antonio and across, cases that I'm seeing.
In 2023, the FBI documented over 11,000 hate crimes reported by more than 16,000 law enforcement agencies. 2,077 of those reports were based on sexual orientation. The Pride Center of San Antonio will honor Jonathan Joss's life Sunday with a vigil at Crockett Park from 7 to 9 p.m. Live in the studio for News 4 San Antonio, I'm Karina Hollingsworth.